And welcome back to another Odd Man Out. Today we have James in the hot seat. Faust and Harrison are going to be talking about No Man's Sky this week. So James, I saw that you have No Man's Sky on your wish list, but you haven't played it yet.
Correct.
And you are interested in getting it.
Vaguely, yes. Kinda.
Okay. Let me start off by asking you this. Do you like Minecraft?
Yes.
Okay. So this is going to be like Minecraft in space. Okay?
Okay.
So you're going to be starting on a planet. You're going to be starting with nothing. There's really no wikis or even anything out for this thing yet. And
there is a bit of a tutorial just basically teaching you basic interaction and things like that. But yeah, you start on just a random planet with a broken ship. The planet is completely random too. It's not like we're going to start you on a safe planet with safe things. Like they just start you on a planet.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it explain how your ship got crashed?
No.
Look, you just wake up with a crashed ship on a planet.
You just poof.
Fix your ship.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then so you have to go out, figure out how things work, such as how to mine, the troubles of the planet that you're on, because you could be on a safe planet or you could be on the worst planet in existence, because there's 18 quintillion planets here.
And you can dig a tunnel?
You can, but not at first.
Yeah, not at first. There is some digging involved, but most of the time you're just going to spend wandering around surfaces and caves with your multi-tool, a laser thing that you shoot to pick up resources. And then there are resources you don't even need the multi-tool for, really.
Yeah,
so you could just turn it into a dedicated weapon.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
Yeah, so you can find caches of materials. You can pick flowers, so you can be an herbalist.
Okay.
Like WoW. And then there's actual like spires, that you can blow up, or you can blow up plants for carbon and everything. So there is some periodic table type stuff there. But once you get your ship fixed, then you can start flying around on the planet some, and then you have to fuel your ship and everything. Then you get to go out into space.
So is it like WoW? It's like multiplayer online? You can talk to other players?
No.
Oh, okay.
So you are effectively by yourself, even though there are other people playing this all in the same universe. But because the universe is so vast, considering there are multiple galaxies, 18 quintillion planets, the odds of you running across somebody else are very, very low.
But you can, though.
You can, and
it's just very slim.
It's very, very slim, and I think there's going to probably do some stuff later on to assist with that as people play the game and get closer into the denser galaxies.
Now, this ship you get, do you upgrade it and you can make it to be more of like a harvesting ship instead of, what kind of ship do you even get?
You just get a standard ship. You can actually later on you can go and purchase other ships, because there will be space stations and there will be trading, so you can trade for other ships.
You can also find other ships. You can you'll have NPCs give you other multi-tools, or you find upgrades to all of your stuff.
So you're not stuck with the same ship then?
No. You can run around and change out your ship. You can change out pretty much everything. Like, the only thing you can't really change is your suit. Kind of. You can upgrade your suit. But
okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering, because like Star Wars, they have the little ship and they have the cargo ship. I was wondering if you can get like a cargo ship and make it easier to like harvest stuff on other planets.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
You can buy slightly bigger ships, but they all fall within about the same size, and I think the biggest I've seen is like ships have like 25 slots, which is huge for this game, because you start with like only like 10 slots in your ship.
But keep in mind that each slot is like, the slots hold more than the slots on your suit as far as inventory concerns, but on your suit, on your multi-tool, and on your ship, all of those slots also count as upgrade slots.
Okay.
So if you put an upgrade on something to try and make it better, you are limiting your ability to carry things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there is some management of upgrades versus resource collecting. Now, I got to ask you, how old's your system?
Mine's a new system.
Okay, so what gen processor do you have?
I have AMD.
You have an AMD?
I have an AMD. Not the newest, but the one below it, right below it. So I have 8-core processor.
Okay, so you have one of the FX processors within
Yeah.
the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. Okay, and how much memory you got in your system?
16?
You got 16 gigs
12
of
or
memory.
16? No, 16.
Okay, so you got 16 gigs of memory. And what's your graphics card currently?
It's in GTX 770.
Okay. So it sounds like you're actually going to hit for all the specifications to be able to run this game. Because right now, its minimums is requiring an i3 processor, but people are using the AMD processor, especially the FX ones, without any issues. They're saying you have to have 8 gigs of memory, and you have to have at least the GeForce GTX 480 or a
770.
yeah, or you have a 770 in this case, or you have to have like the Radeon 7870s,
Okay.
or at least the high end of the 7 series. And then you have 10 gigs of free hard drive space, correct?
Yeah, I have like about 3 terabytes.
Okay.
And also, you want better than a Core 2 CPU.
Yeah.
Like the game will not run on a Core 2 CPU.
I don't have
older.
anything with
Yeah.
the Core C2 CPU
I don't
anymore.
think really many people do. I mean,
The only things that fall kind of into that is some of the ones that actually label Pentium versus an i3 or an i5 processor. So some of the low end Athlons might fall into that too.
all right. But
Okay.
But
the
All right.
the game is very, like, the developers are very staunch about the system requirements that you either have those or better.
All right, so I meet the requirements.
Yeah. And so it's an amazingly pretty game.
Now, it's not going to do like with those other ones where it's like a season passes BS, is it?
not that we've seen
Not
yet.
so far, the developers, Hello Games, have only talked about patches. I don't think there's been any mention of expansions or DLC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mind DLCs and expansion, but I don't like the whole season pass BS thing. Like, I'll buy the game, and then, like, they'll have a season pass right next to it,
So you
Right.
like buy all the DLC ahead of time, fund the DLC.
Yeah.
Right?
Right now, you're not going to have to worry about any of that.
Okay.
Default, the game wants to run at 30 frames per second.
Okay.
Okay, so you can actually go in and up the frames. You may have a lower resolution at first. You can go in and up it, but make sure you at least get to your ship first, and save, or else you're going to get started on a whole different planet.
Whole new planet, whole new ship.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you've got to save first.
Does-
And it's one save slot per game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not that you would really need more than one.
Well, I think it saves a lot along the lines of like how Diablo used to save, or how Diablo saved, where it's like everything you do is basically saved, and so everywhere you go basically it creates a restore point, and then anything you do after that restore point will get lost, but you get a new restore point like every 5 minutes, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But don't go into this game expecting a lot. This is like a slow game. Very, very slow game.
Okay.
It's an exploration game.
I played space games before.
Okay. But it's different than space games.
Can I use a joystick like the...
You can use an Xbox 360 controller or a controller compatible with the X Play system.
Yeah. So you can't... I don't... You could probably remap an official joystick if you want to, but really the game does work with gamepads. I mean, it was
Okay.
released for the PS4 and for the PC. So I've used Xbox 360 controllers and I've used the Steam controller
Okay.
just fine, and they both work well. So it's pretty intuitive, either one of them, and it's designed around that. But it took me a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, just to even get off the first planet, and then going out and doing things is they don't really steer you too well in directions to do things. So It is very much an exploration, very slow game. If you end up getting into like space combat, this a slight issue I have.
Yeah, what's the space combat like? What's a combat like in general? Not just space
So
combat.
your ship is equipped with a laser and what's called a cannon.
Uh-huh.
Those are basically the default weapons for that. I haven't seen anything different, and then upgrades just basically influence how effective either are. So it's a question of pointing your ship in the general direction of whatever you're attacking, and so there's a lot of dogfighting going on. And when it comes to the laser kind of auto-targets. The cannon kind of auto-targets, but it also gives you sort of a gimbal lock where you have to lead the target so that the bullets actually hit it on time and
Okay.
stuff like that. Mm-hmm. On land, your multi-tool is your weapon. So you get one weapon, but you get to add in capabilities onto it. So when you first start out, you have a mining laser. It's not very effective against enemies. You don't really have that many enemies to fight, really. There's not really that many enemies in the game, really.
Okay.
But when you do have to fight, you're given that, and then you can upgrade your multi-tool with basically a gun that you can turn into a shotgun and grenades.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can really walk away from almost every fight. I mean, this game is very much about exploration first.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, so if you need a nice wind down game and just
Yeah, combat effectiveness is not a focus in this game.
So if you want to go explore stuff and just
explore, just look at pretty things, and you can actually you have to scan constantly from planets, and then you can upload the results, and you can get them named after you. Like it'll always show like what your Steam handle is, but you can actually specifically name things also, so that if somebody does happen to come across it, they can see that you named this species something. So I know they've said words like Hitler and really bad words are not allowed, but you could name like something that looks like a donkey and ass if you want to. James's ass, or you could be like name it whatever you want to. But they always say discovered by, and you'll get credit for discovering it first.
And the wildlife on these planets are procedurally generated along with the planet. So I actually like the weirdest one I've seen so far were what looked like hopping pineapples.
Huh.
And that's with the ones that are like jellyfish the size of cows on land, and I think you saw one that was sort of like a bipedal
dog. Yeah, it was a huge, giant bipedal dog. I mean, it looked like a dog head bipedal creature. It was looked like a dog head on a T-Rex body almost, and it was very passive.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So what do you think?
Well, based off of your descriptions, I would give it a shot.
Would you spend $60 for it?
I don't know yet. I was kind of, hoping for a birthday gift.
It's $60 on Steam. I'm pretty sure it'll happen.
You're okay with getting some frame drops right now because the game is procedurally generated?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. If it's still in development, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, that's Odd Man Out.
I was in the hot seat.
And if you like what we're doing, just remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if there's anything you want us to try to throw somebody in the hot seat for. And let us know what you think of No Man's Sky. Right now, we think it's great. Even if there are 15,000 Steam reviews that are trying to say
negative
else.
reviews.
Yes.
Come on, guys. So yeah. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.
See you next week.
And then I'm going, back to work or activity with other people where I want to socialize and not sit there trying to catch Pokemon.
Somebody has stolen my gem.